because I watched this the day that it aired in the U.S., January 13th, 1985.
On Turner broadcast.
And
TV is different
well,
at the BBC.
I will also tell you that TVs were different. The shitty TV that we had, me and my roommate that we watched this on, you didn't see a lot of the detail that you could see in this restored version for sure. So I think it lost a little bit of its punch, but this movie.
Oh, I don't think it lost some of its punch
Well, I do remember when it was over, we just sort of sat there like with our jaws hanging open, and I don't think either one of us slept that night.
I'm
But
wondering if TBS cut out the worst stuff.
I don't remember. No, I remember all.
Like
No.
the very last moment.
No,
Oh, I
Turner.
remember that.
The middle stuff.
Turner could not find someone to sponsor the airing of this.
That's
and
right. He
paid for
out
it
of his own
out of his
pocket.
own pocket.
Yeah.
They did not edit it. They aired it as
Oh,
it was.
I remember all the bad stuff that I remember is still there, and I will. What else?
And more bad stuff that you didn't remember.
Well, I mean, the thing about this movie that obviously it's this movie's willingness to go there is sort of admirable, but it also kind of bums me out because there I don't think there's any you couldn't make anything like this that would have the same punch that it had in 1985 because you couldn't get half the country to watch it all at once like you used to be able to do because there's way more, everything's more diversified now.
A fledgling cable network has actually got
I mean, honestly, watching this movie kind of made me dislike Oppenheimer even more than I kind of already do because I kind of wish Oppenheimer had gone there. And I felt like it's
I'm kind of glad it didn't because this is really unpleasant to watch.
It's necessary.
Actually, Jared, have you seen this before?
I had never seen this, and
Oh,
I think it should be like
Jared.
This is like
Jared's got the floor. Take it.
Well, this is like one of those movies where anytime we get close to, anytime the tensions get too high, you need to screen this for like everyone. It needs to come on. And
Hello, everyone. It is January 20th, 2025.
Like, well, I mean, like when it gets, like you need to screen this for everyone, and they go, "Oh, that's right. We need to chill the fuck out.
Right.
Like, we need to not." And it's one of those. Like I kept thinking of what was the other one? Well, I thought of Come and See, of course, just because I always think of like whereas like
there's a big three here. There is the Day After, which is the American one. Then there's Threads, the British one, and there's also a Testament, which is a PBS version of this.
I thought of
that's set in fucking. That's set in Marin County.
There's also
it was filmed
there's also the War Game.
The War Game.
I thought of Children of Men a lot in this.
War Games is not a bomb.
Not
War Games.
The War Game, yes, but
which both the director and writer of this and the director and writer of The Day After watched, which is what birthed both of those movies.
That's right.
And the director and writer of this both watched or got synopses of The Day After, and they were like, well, we're not going to make this right now. We're going to delay it. And then actually saw it and we're like, no, actually, we're going to make it because we spent so much fucking time researching what would actually happen in this scenario. And that movie fucked it up.
Right.
Like,
yeah, this is one of those movies where I don't say this often. I'm glad I watched this, but I won't watch it again.
No, dude. I'm surprised I watched it a second time. I really am.
Like I would watch Come and See multiple times.
Yeah.
I would not watch this multiple times.
I have watched it multiple times and it doesn't get any easier.
It's one of the bleakest films I could think of.
It really is. And it's really well made.
Yeah.
No, I mean
it was made for the equivalent in today's money of $1.2 million.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, you can tell it's a lot of the cutaways are obviously borderlining on stock footage, probably are stock. I mean,
there's some bad stock footage in this film. There is,
yeah. But there's a lot of really good stuff, and the acting is really good. And
photos of.
I'm going to tell you the one line I saw this back when it came out. I saw it on TBS when it came out. This one title card got me. This one,
yes.
UK numbers made this fucked me up because I realized that everything was lost because it was
Yep.
10 years later. Everything is going down to the most substance level as possible. The nuclear war actually destroyed mankind.
Also, kind of a weird choice to have both title cards, which I thought were very informative and very,
Yeah.
And
like you said,
narration.
yeah, and narration though.
I
The
thought it was a
director-
little
Kind
uneven
of
in
odd.
that sense.
I wouldn't have. I would have just went with the title cards, but
The
Yeah.
director didn't like the narration. The BBC insisted on it.
They kind of did both
that
things.
makes sense.
They-
That makes sense because I think the
clarification.
title cards are stronger.
title
Right,
cards
yeah.
and VOs, which is weird. You know, one or the other. You know what I'm talking about? Pick one.
Although
That's what
I do
we're
think
saying.
And
I
there was
do
a
think-
problem with the Friedkin flick too, because the titles, the intertitles or the title overs kept changing. Sometimes they were
Fonts kept
handwriting and
Oh, you notice the
sometimes-
fonts were never the
Fonts
same.
kept
Everything.
changing.
Well, and sometimes
Yeah,
they were typed
well-
on, and other times they were just.
Yeah, I know it's crazy.
Thrown
It was
on.
fun.
Well, what that's actually doing is counting down to William Peterson's death. But anyway, we're not talking about that movie.
All right.
It just reminded me, like, you know,
No,
thankfully
you're
I get
wrong.
enough time. Thankfully, I get enough time when the missiles launch to drive to the top of Mount Tamalpais and stare at San Francisco with no glasses on. I was only half joking when I said I watched The Road as a palate cleanser. I did get through like the first hour to remind myself that I'm Charlize
Oh yeah,
Theron.
I thought of The Road too, and I thought of Children of Men. Those two.
I am Charlize Theron. I am not cut out for surviving. Existing is not living. I will run into the fire as quickly as possible.
There are three. There are three Russian nuclear missiles that are targeted in an overlapping grid pattern around where I live right now.
Oh yeah.
I will not escape.
Mhm.
No,
Like
but you want to be.
No, this shit's still going right now. You know,
Yeah.
the Russians are still have ICBM targeting on the United States.
and
right
we
now.
still have ICBM
But we got-
targeting on them.
And on
We
Russia
got
right
them.
now. It's like nothing has changed. We just don't talk about it anymore.
Yeah, and
No.
that's why if tensions get high, they
Mhm.
watch this movie. We watch this movie, and we all chill the fuck out.
Well,
There's
they
an
know-
amazing episode of TV Nation, Michael Moore's TV show, where he went to Russia and visited the missile that is targeted at Flint, Michigan.
I remember that one.
Like, and all of the operators in that base are like, we don't want to kill you, like, but like this is our job. We have to sit here and we have to wait for the command to turn this key and send it. And we don't know what happens after that because no one really knows what happens after that. Like when
This
we
is what
when we
happened.
nuked
Yeah.
no, but yes, but when we nuked Japan, it was a one-sided event,
Right.
and then
Much
they
smaller
surrendered, and everyone went in and helped. What
We only
happens
had
when there's
two.
what happens when there's no one to help?
You know,
This.
Like this.
Then it's still fucking Mad Max 13 years later.
yeah. You know
Yeah.
what? Thank God for Donald Trump, who is Putin's buddy, and is probably turning all the missiles away from the United States right now because we're friends now, right?
The Russians cannot target their missiles away from the United States.
It's a law or something like that.
No, it's
But I think they
it's-
kind of
it's
are buddies, so we're
programmed-
probably okay for now.
It's programmed into the computers.
Yeah, I bet
When the missile is installed,
Mhm.
it is programmed for a specific place. There is no, we're gonna, because the U.S. did that.
Hardwired.
The
It's
U.S.
hardwired, yeah.
Right, the U.S. did that. We targeted
Well,
our
I'm sure they could.
missiles
I'm sure
into
they
the
could
middle.
change the coordinates if they wanted to.
They can't really because you'd have to rebuild the whole computer system.
Also,
and
what's weird about this,
and they don't have any money.
This is
Yeah.
Sheffield. It's like it's an industrial town known for its steel outside
It's
of London, right?
It's the fourth largest city in
Yeah,
England
but why are the Russians targeting it?
because
Well,
it's
there's
a
There's a U.S. Air Force base 15 miles.
They
from it.
explain that, don't they?
Yeah,
there's a
that's-
NATO air base.
Yeah.
It's the fourth largest city in England.
Uh-huh.
And what did it say? Priority targets,
That's right.
chemicals, industry.
Mhm.
Like they just like they listed all the things at the beginning, and they list it when the bombs fall. Where it's like, yeah, of course they're going to target Sheffield.
Mhm.
Like there again, I live in a fairly suburban part of Seattle, and there are 3 nukes that overlap where I
Well,
am.
You're near Bremerton. You're near Bremerton, so that's where the sub pens are.
Bremerton's a pretty decent way up there.
But you can see it from your house, basically, almost.
Ish,
All right, there.
but still, the point is, what's actually way closer to me is Boeing.
No. Also, going back to behind Chris, I like the fact they had this was it Ruth as the kind of the connecting character of this entire thing. It wasn't just a documentary; it was about her. It's her story.
Right.
Yeah, they had several characters you can follow. I mean, until they all died.
Yeah, until they all die. The guys in the basement when the nukes hit, the guys running at everything, that the emergency response, that was like fucking tragic.
Well,
But
and they die because they're not dug out.
yeah, I know.
Yeah,
They
they
all
just starved to
suffocate.
death, dude.
Yeah.
No, they are
smoke-
dug
they
out.
start
but
eating
it's
their
after
cigarettes.
they died.
Yeah.
It
But
just,
man, but Ruth thing was like it was awful because it's like she had a kid, she got cataracts and fucking died in the field. It was like, what the fuck? That's the it was so horrible you couldn't even imagine it. You know what I mean?
Also, pregnant women are less susceptible to radiation because it goes to the baby first.
Chernobyl proved that.
Yeah.
Yes. The movie the show Chernobyl, all the radiation the girl got went to the baby and the baby died, and so she was okay. It's
Wow.
weird.
I don't know. Again, what I was trying to say is like there's something about this movie and its willingness to go there that makes you think about, it's the power of visual storytelling. It's why we love movies as much as we do.
We do.
It really like and it's about the fucking important stuff, right? Like this is important. Like,
Well, and I'll give it to them for not romanticizing it because
Oh,
not
no.
even a
in
little
terms of his visual style, in terms
It
of
was
the
fucking
acting,
hard. Also,
terms of-
16 millimeter, man. It's like
yeah, I mean it's
Well, it was
three-
made for television.
I
it's
know.
television. Yeah, it's
BBC,
4:3.
16
It's
millimeter. That's 4:3,
Yeah.
16 millimeter. Yeah.
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 Is it even
And also
possible for something to come along like this?
Because even
Yeah.
something like The Road, which the novel is incredible,
Oh.
in my opinion, but but that movie, look, it has a right. It's got a look. It's got this really cinematic.
Someone's got to pick it.
And this thing is not cinematic. This thing is like this
No,
is
this
ugly.
ugly
movie
as
this
fuck.
movie just walks up, grabs you by the shirt, and punches you
I
in
know.
the face.
It's ugly. This film is ugly as fuck. It really is.
The thing I liked the most about this movie was there were no recognizable actors in it. I'm sure
Yeah, there's that
if
too.
you watched a lot of British TV,
No,
Right,
it was
right.
it was local.
a lot of it was
A lot of
It was
locals,
professionals.
Eisensteinian typage, as you say. It's
And
like
they were good, too.
locals to be in it.
Yeah.
One of the reasons I picked this is because I looked at Jim's neo-realist war films from last week and went, what if I made this worse?
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
As
this is
such,
worse than
I do
this is worse
declare-
than one little boy committing suicide. I'll tell
I
you
think
that.
we've all cornered here. So what do you want?
I mean, it's horrible. Big
But
thumbs up.
it's like an important movie.
But
You
it
know
does
what?
it does the thing it's set out to do without
film-
compromise. And when
This
was
film
the last
fucked me up in '84.
But
and it fucked me up
I'll
now.
never watch this
what was
again,
the
dude.
last